Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do the code bi-weekly challenge number of valid clock times. So before starting this question, let me introduce you with one more coding challenge. Basically, Newton School is also starting with the coding challenges. So about the same, you can figure out in the description below, and all the details you can figure out there. And the most interesting part for the same is that after registering to that contest and that registration is completely free. And the next thing is that whenever you will be doing those coding contests, and then if you're at the top performers, then surely you will be getting a prize for the same. And that is one of the most exciting thing about the same, like learning and getting prizes as well with the same. So this is about the Newton School competitions, which you could figure out in the description below. Now comes the part for this question. So here the question is number of valid clock times. Right. So now let us first read this question and then about the constraints and then about the example and then we will be going ahead with the coding part for the same. So here you are given a string of length 5. So they have already defined us that what is the length of string which is being given to us. So we can check here that 2 digits this, then colon and then 2 digits this, right? And then representing the current time on a digital clock in the format RR colon minute. So that's the thing. And then the earliest possible time is 00 colon 00 and the latest possible time is 23 dot colon then 59. So this is basically in the 24-hour format. So that's why it will go from 0 to 23 and other one would be 0 to 59 only, means 24 hours and 60 minutes. So that's the thing. So in this question, in the string time, that is this particular string, that is represented by the question mark symbol are unknown and must be replaced with a digit 0 to 9. So that's the thing. Now return an integer answer, the number of valid clock times that can be created by replacing every question mark with a digit 0 to 9. So the thing is that in this particular string of length 5, whatever is given to us, so wherever question mark is being there, so at that particular question mark, we are required to replace the that question mark with digit from 0 to 9. So that's the thing. And we need to maintain that it should be from the range 00 colon 00 to 23 colon 59. Basically, the digital clock time which is there. So, according to that only, we are required to make our answer. So, according to that only, we are required to make all the possibilities. So, what I want to say is like, basically, here even if you see the constraint, 1 minute. So, here even if you see the constraint, so here you can check that time is a valid string 5 this and then the limit of hours is this and limit of minutes is this. So according to these limits only, we are required to go ahead with our solution. And some other digit might replace the question mark and we are required to replace it with 0 and 9. So that's the thing. Now comes the next part, that how we are required to do this question. So here you can see that we are given with these, right? So basically as it is of 5 names, right? So let us start with the same, that how we are required to go ahead. So first thing would be that there is this hours, and then there is this minutes, right? So if we get question mark here, then what we are required to do, right? Then what we will be doing is that let's start from the past, from this only, because here the thing would be of every possibility. Here the minute could go from 0 to 2, right? And here minute could go from 0 to 9. So that is the thing. So according to that only, here possibilities of 10 and here possibilities of 3. So that's the thing. Now comes the part for this R. Here R's possibility is somehow decreased also. And in the criteria of that only we are required to check. See, if uh, what we say, this time, right? If that time, if that time, if the time of 0, that is our first task, is equal to question mark, then in that context, we are required to, if this is also question mark, and if this time of 1 is also a question mark, right? So in that context, our answer would be simply multiplied by 60 only. Not 60, but 24. Because 24 hours are there, right? So it will be multiplied by 24. But if this particular is not equals to question mark, right? But this is equals to question mark. Means time 0 is equals to question mark and time 1 is not equals to question mark, then in that scenario there are multiple scenarios which we are required to take care. So first thing is that if this is clear, right? Now thing is, if that is the scenario, then we will be checking that what is time of 1. If time of 1 is basically less than 2, see, here the thing is that we can go till 23, right? So we are required to check for this particular thing. So here we will be checking if this particular thing is there, right? Means time of 1 is basically less than 3, not 2. Then in that context, see, this will be 0, 1 and 2, right? These three things are there. And if it is less than 3, then in that context, we will be making our answer equals to 3. But if our time is basically, means time of 1 is greater than 3, where equal to is also required, then in that context, we will be multiplying with, because it is greater than 3, right? So we can go till any number, right? So in that criteria, as we can go till any number, hmm, 0 to 2 only there, 0, 1 and 2, right? So that will be still 23, but we can't go for, yeah, in other context, there was, I am confused now. So in this other criteria, the thing would be that, so in this other criteria, the thing would be that here as the second digit which is there, if it is greater than a 3, right? So we are having much lesser possible, not much less, yeah. We are now having much lesser possibilities for the same. So our possibilities would be 0 and 1 only, not 2, because 2 can go till 23 only, right? So that's why here we will be multiplying with 2. So these are the things which we are required to consider in this particular question. So that's the thing which we are required to consider here. Now, this word, the like, you can say the straightforward thing that these are the test cases which we are required to consider. Means for all the four digits which are being there, so we are required to check for the ranges by which we are required to multiply and so on. And according to that only, we are required to code straightforwardly. So now let us go ahead with the coding part only, and then I'll show you with a dry run of the code. Then you will know better. So now, once the part for the answer. So here, this answer is equal to 1 because we are basically multiplying it, right? So at the end, we will be requiring to return with the answer which is the multiplied form. So our time of 4, basically the last digit which is being there, if it is equal to question mark, so we know that our format is still 23 and this is 59, right? So this can go up to 0 to 9. So these are basically 10 digits. So that's why we are multiplying with 10. Now on this part, that is this one. So here you can see that it is going till 5. So it will go till 0 to 5. So that's why here we will be multiplying by 6. So that's the thing here. Now come to this part. This is a major part of this question because you very well know that there are some cases when this is particularly from 0 to 3, then here the option becomes 0, 1 and 2. But if this particular is more than 3, right? So in that particular criteria means up to 4 to 9, and in that context our possibilities become 0 and 1 only. So according to that only we are required to modify this question. So now here we will be first taking that if both of them are question mark, right? So we have this particular possibility, that is a possibility will become 24 because here we are going right till 23, right? But we were starting from 0 0, so this 0 0 is also one of the possibilities, so that's why 24. by which we are required to multiply here. Now comes the next part, that in this part, if either of them is question mark. So for that criteria now we are checking. So if our time of 1 is equals to question mark, then we will be checking for time 0, else we will be going ahead. So if time 1 is equal to question mark, right, and time 0 is equal to 2, right? So we are heading towards this one possibility that it is equals to 2, right? So in that particular context, we are having just four possibilities, and those four possibilities are this one: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's why we will be multiplying by 4, else our answer would be simply multiplied by 10. Because the thing is that if it is equals to 2, then we are having just these four possibilities, right? But if this particular time of 0, that is this one, if it is not equals to 2 and it is equal to 0 to 1, right? So then we are having possibility from 0 to 9. So that's the thing, and that's why we will be multiplying by 10. So that is what we are doing. Then comes the part. So this was for when time of 1 is equal to question mark, but if time of 0 is equal to question mark, so in that context, first we will be checking that time of when if it is less than 4. So in that context, we will be having three possibilities. So this is that criteria that this is our time of 1, right? So time of 1 is less than 4. So in that particular context, we are having just these three options. Sorry, we are having these three options only, right? But if a time of 1 becomes greater than or equal to 4, then we have only these two options. So in that context only, I'm doing these two things here, the thing which I had explained earlier. So according to that only, our answer will vary and the multiplication with the answer will vary. So this was all for this particular question. I hope you like the explanation. And the thing about the time complexity and space complexity is, so the time complexity of this question is order of n only. Uh, Not order of n, but basically order of 5, which will be equating to order of 1, and the space complexity, that is also order of 1 because we are not using any auxiliary space. So this was all for this particular question. If you have any doubt, you could comment that down. And yeah, this was all. Thank you.